My name is Vincent de Clafailly. I'm the head of corporate service of Europe's Rail joint undertaking. So for my background, I have a master degree in business administration and a master degree in economics with a specialization on intercultural management. For my professional experience, I started working in Chile, actually in Santiago de Chile, for 1 year as a junior analyst in an insurance company. Then I went back to Brussels, where I had my studies, and I started working for the European institution as a trainer in financial matters. And then I joined the team with Deloitte Consulting, still to provide some trainings in European institutions about financial matters, but also some projects like more consulting projects like activity-based costing, accounting system validation, process efficiencies, and so on. Then in 2014 I joined Clean Aviation. At the time it was Clean Sky. I joined as a financial controller, actually head of finance. And I also was acting as head of administration finance for 6 months in replacement of my boss at the time. And finally, in 2016, I joined the Shift Rail team, now Europe's Rail, as head of corporate services. And here we are.
My name is Eleni Selita. I'm a communications officer at Europe's Rail. I have a background in business management. I did my bachelor in business management, and I have a master's degree in project management. I've been working with Europe's Rail for almost 2 years now, working in different aspects of communications, social media, event management, and so on.
So it's the reaction to unforeseen events, actually. Quite trying to developing different options, being actually innovative, creative as much as you can in order to reach the goal and achieve the necessary vision. So I'm not saying that it's something that I have all the time, but that's something that I'm always trying to develop, this innovation, creativity, and trying to find solutions.
It will have to be teamwork. Throughout my career, whether it would be a university project, a school project, or part of my volunteering, and now as part of a very dynamic team that is the communication team of Europe's Rail. Teamwork has always been a skill I had to develop and worked on. So I think I've learned to work effectively as part of a team, and for me that means completing my own tasks, but as well as thinking of the tasks of my colleagues, of my teammates, and their abilities and their needs. For me it also means that I have to learn to be tolerant of other people's working styles, because many times they're different than mine. So I needed to figure out how to best apply the skills of mine and make them work collectively with the strengths and the abilities and the skills of my colleagues.
So to me, something I want to learn or to improve and go better with this is trying to find the right balance between procrastination and precrastination. The thing that sometimes happens is that you know that you have something to be done, or you have a colleague asking you for feedback, and you can sometimes push it aside, saying, okay, I will do it tomorrow, and then suddenly it's not tomorrow, it's the day after, and so on, and you may have some of your colleagues missing information. And so it will be, I don't know why, for some reason there are some times that I'm not always willing to do, and it costs a bit of effort to try to not push to the day after what you don't want to do, but ensuring that you deliver at least the answer, the orientation, and that you can help your colleagues on time.
I would have to say that I possess and I work with a lot of soft skills, but technical skills or hard skills are also very important. So one skill that I would really like to learn is programming. I have a basic understanding of a few programming languages, so advancing my programming skills would be number 1 in my list. For me, it would mean that working in Europe's Rail, I could also collaborate with our IT department and maybe work on projects that would further help my team have a better understanding of what we do in terms of technical. That would be my number 1 list.
So it would be the faith on my own judgment, which is linked to the self-confidence, and also to ensure straightforward communication. An important element also straightforward communication, but also take into consideration the inputs and elements received from my colleagues to go towards more decision process and better objectives. However, how it goes at Rail is something I've learned myself. It's not always easy to communicate properly. You may think in emails verbally that you may consider that the communication was smooth, correct and clear, and it's not always the case. So something I'm trying to learn on every day, or at least each year for sure, is ensuring that the communication is clear for all the stakeholders and all the colleagues.
I would have to say that attention to detail is one of the skills that I'm really currently developing and learning and trying to be better at. Even though many people think that the bigger picture is important, having this attention to detail, especially in communications, can make someone's work and the work that we put out stand out. Paying attention to details can mean also saving my teams a lot of hassle. How I do that is I wrote down every mistake I make. I write down every mistake I made, every piece of feedback, and I keep sort of like a feedback journal that I can look back to. And this feedback journal focuses mostly on the details I might have missed on my recurring tasks. Of course, I also try to reread my material every time before I send it out. I take a step back, I look at the bigger picture, I reread everything as it is the first time I've read it or I've written it. It's not me who wrote it, let's say. And I always give my material as well to my team members who I trust, because having more than one set of eyes I think is very important.
So this skill would be the directing the teams. The idea was something that I really developed at Rail, and I think it improves and it goes better and better, and also thanks to my colleagues and my team. So trying that we work autonomously, but also efficiently towards the same goal, and also important trying to figure out and try to ensure that everything goes well, smooth, and that the colleagues feel well, and that we have a nice working environment.
It's hard to pick just one, but at the top of my head I would have to say public speaking. It's a really important one. Public speaking doesn't have to be standing in front of a huge audience and performing a play. It can just be about having a small part in a presentation during a work meeting, or for me it's also about representing Europe's Rail during rail events, big conferences and trade fairs. And I've been very fortunate enough to attend a lot of events, a lot of trade fairs, and put this skill into practice, meet a lot of stakeholders, exchange ideas, which was not also an opportunity to develop my skill, but it was also an opportunity to represent my team and Europe's Rail as a whole. I think public speaking is a very crucial skill to have, and it requires a lot of self-confidence, a lot of practice, analyzing the audience, and I'm still learning every day.
So this skill would be without any hesitation deciding. Whenever you have requests, and the numerous requests we have every day, it is important that the colleagues receive the feedback they expect, and I need also to trust my judgments and feel confident about the decision I would take. So for this also an important aspect is to rely on the colleagues. Rely on the colleagues, trust the colleagues, and also working with colleagues who take the ownership of their own task, and this is something that really matters.
A skill I work with every day at Europe's Rail, but that would definitely have to be organizing. Organizing and also prioritizing, for me they go together. And an individual can have many ways of doing that, of planning and scheduling and keeping track of their workload. I pay extra attention to what I have to do, all my tasks, and make sure that I meet deadlines, because I'm not just working by myself, I have a team that's depending on me. So that's for me a really important thing to keep in mind. Keep myself organized so that I can meet the deadlines that are set to me, but also prioritize, because sometimes things come up that you do not expect, so you have to be on your toes, let's say. So I keep that in mind always, and it's a skill that I work with every day, but also a skill I very much aim to develop as I go along.